Hi, I'm Gabrielle, and this is my second MCAT video. I'm on week 5 of studying for the MCAT, and I have 7 more weeks to my actual test date. And just for this video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I've been studying and also 7 tips that can help you improve your MCAT practice test scores. Just as a recap, I still only spent $7 studying for the MCAT, and I'm 5 weeks in. So if you're interested in that at all, see my last video. It's called How I Studied for the MCAT in under $10. Just as I've taken 2 practices since the last time I talked to you guys. So I made a 504 on both of them, which I think is pretty consistent. And next thing I'm going to do is talk about my 7 MCAT tips. And these tips have helped me go up 7 points so far in 5 weeks. I think they're very effective if you follow them, at least with some allegiance. So tip 1, make a study schedule and stick to it. So that sounds really boring. I didn't really want to make a study schedule, but I realized about a week and a half in that it was kind of a necessity. So I don't mean plan out every single thing that you plan on doing that day or what you want to accomplish in 1 hour or whatever. I just mean say that from Monday from 1 o'clock in the afternoon to 5 o'clock, it's my scheduled study time every week, and just kind of try to stick to that. Also, plan out your breaks so that you don't extend your breaks by any amount of time, because it's very easy when you're trying to take a break from the MCAT to say you're going to take an hour break, but then push it to 2 hours and to 3 hours. So if you're going to say that you're going to take an hour break, actually stick to that and kind of make it consistent week by week. So that's my first tip. My second tip is to take practice tests routinely. And I think that how routinely you take practice tests depends on how long you have to study for the MCAT. I'm able to spread mine out, so I only take 1 per week, but if it's more of a crunch time for you, you can take 2 per week or 1 every 3 days or different things like that. But it's important to take them routinely and also to review them. Don't just take them and never look at it again. Take them and then look at the key concepts that keep on coming up, and then make note cards about it if you have to, or figure out what those words mean. Also, if you're interested in finding free practice tests, my last video I talked about how I got 10 practice tests for free, so that could be interesting. My third tip is to read MCAT review books and take notes on them. So I'm in the process of reading MCAT physics and math. I'm almost done with that. It's been really helpful because I haven't actually taken physics yet, so lifesaver. And then I'm also in the process of reading MCAT biology review. This is also very helpful because it tells you about all the circulatory system, musculoskeletal system, reproductive system, some details that you don't really get in college level biology. So it's important to at least read up on it. Also, I've even got a Gen Chem here. I'm gonna start reading that one probably next week. So just keep on reading them. And also, here's all my notebooks. Take notes on them when you're actually reading them. That sounds really annoying, but active reading is a lot better than just trying to see if you actually get anything from the material. Just try to write and take notes while you're doing it. And tip number 4, to make note cards whenever you find topics that are really making you think, or you always mess up on this word or anything like that. Make a note card about it. And I actually brought some of my note cards. This is my very large deck of physics and math note cards. It's pretty excessive. You probably won't have one too as big as this because I actually haven't taken the class yet, so I had to write a lot of them. But yeah, make sure you write down formulas that keep on coming up and quiz yourself on those. This is my stack of note cards that I made for topics that kept on coming up in my practice tests that I didn't really know, like baroreceptors, the 3 types of social organizations, things like that kept on coming up and I didn't really have a good understanding of them. And my last stack is biology, and mostly it talks about the biological systems, parts of the body, that kind of stuff. So note cards are very essential. I think they're kind of annoying, but for the MCAT they're kind of required. And step 5 is to watch as many MCAT prep videos as you can. That sounds like it can be kind of weird, but it is helpful. Even if you already know a topic, it's helpful to watch a video that's tailored straight for the MCAT so that you can understand how they're going to ask the questions on the MCAT. Even if you know one topic, it's still important to watch videos and make sure that you actually know it and you're not just like mindlessly going through it. So that's my tip 5. And number 6 is to try to explain things you learned to other people who aren't studying for the MCAT and don't really know what you're going through. So just the other day I tried to explain how the blood flows to the circulatory system to my mother. So explaining it to people who don't actually know what you're talking about essentially is very helpful because it makes sure that you actually know what you're talking about and it checks for your understanding. So it's extremely helpful to try to explain it to somebody else. Tip 7, and my last one, is have days during the week where you don't really focus on the MCAT at all. For me, that's the weekend. All I do on the weekend is just review the practices that I did that week, but I don't actually study anything. So it's very good to clear your head, and I think that it would be very hard if I didn't have the weekends as a break. So try to at least fit 1 or 2 days into your week where you don't even think about the MCAT and you just take a break from it and a breather. So that's all my tips. And for my next video, I was thinking about making a flashcard quiz, but I just go through some of my important flashcards and see if you guys actually know what I'm talking about when I say that. If you like this idea, please leave a comment, or if you have no suggestion for my next video, do that too. And I'll see you then.